Next on the programme, a Bristol rehabilitation centre that has been treating people with drug and alcohol addictions for 35 years is to close.
Despite high-profile support from celebrities like Russell Brand and Will Self in a recent fundraising campaign, Chandos House will close in 8 weeks. They say lives will be put at risk.
Since 2013, across the United Kingdom, there have been major cuts made by the government, with an estimated £163 million being cut from drug and alcohol treatment budgets. According to the official National Statistics Report, Bristol's drug-related deaths have risen by an estimated 32%, with 2017 alone having 87 drug-related deaths. Despite these figures, the government has continued to slash budgets. This has directly impacted a residential rehab centre called Chandos House.
I mean, there are some characteristics about Chandos House that are very different from probably all of the other rehabs. The most obvious difference is at Chandos House we are trying to work with relapse events which most rehabs would not do. The reason I've heard given for not doing it is that it's too hard. Well, at Chandos House we think it's too important not to do it. So we are trying to work with relapse as I have done in the community. It's an essential part of the learning process that leads to recovery.
I'm Richard Roebuck, prefer to be called Rick. I only get called Richard when I'm in trouble. I came here from Plymouth, just down the road, coming up for 4 months ago. I've sort of known most of my life I've got a bit of a problem. Early 20s, I did an home detox and I got free of drugs, apart from weed. I was constantly smoking weed. I started drinking quite heavily as well, but I didn't think I had a problem drinking. Well, it was just before 2012. I was working with the drug services in Colchester, and they mentioned rehab to me, and I laughed. Up until then I thought rehab was for rich people, you know, your pop stars, your TV stars and all that. I didn't know people like me could go to rehab. It was alright to start with, but then I started smoking legal highs while I was there. I met my partner while I was in there. I came out of treatment and me and my partner decided to stay in Plymouth. Just over 2.5 years ago, my partner passed away. I went straight back to using again. Started off with heroin, then back to heroin and crack, and then whatever tablets I could get my hands on as well. My aim, in all honesty, was to kill myself, but it never happened.
And you decided to to stay at Chandos. Why is that? What's different about Chandos?
More supportive here. I would say it's more, I know we're not relatives or anything like that, but it's as though we're one family in the house, you know. That helps.
What ways have they supported you here?
Group sessions, having a look at why I drank, why I abused drugs, and also traumas in the past.
For me personally, the place has been amazing. The day that I came here, I had a panic attack. You know, I was so scared of coming down through that gate, coming down in here. No other place would do what this place has done, you know. The last place I was in, if my mental health had gone while I'd been there, they wouldn't have known what to do with me. Whereas here, they've worked with me through every step of it, you know. I was struggling to be in groups because of my mental health. So James put me on something he called distraction therapy, where I was able to walk in the garden or doing a bit of other gardening, going out with one of my peers shopping, helping with cooking, dinner, you know, just all different things to stop me from being in my head for too long.
They help you get responsibility, where other rehabs you're more locked down. You're just you're not getting used to being outside. With Chandos, it's we got to do shopping now. We got take TVs in the morning. Just got to be more responsible because I think that was the main problem last time. I was so locked in now, and the minute I got out, I had to get used to being out, being clean. And with this place, it's more about working. It's working in here, and it's working getting back out in the community.
You know, we do all sorts of crazy hippie stuff. You think, what the hell is the point of this?
You've got a healer, don't you?
We have a healer, we have music, circus skills, all sorts of things. And a big thing about being an addict, alcoholic, they're two of the same things, is that you tend to become isolated and therefore connectivity, connecting to other people, and also feeling your self-worth, you know, part of a team, is very, very beneficial to the whole process. And having done 2 months here, the subliminal effect of the teachings and the groups and the programs and the one-to-ones and everything, it seeps in and you realise that those methods are actually working.
How will the closure affect both the residents, the current residents, but also the past residents? From my understanding, there is an aftercare programme.
I think that could be a bit dangerous for not just us, but a wider range of people, you know what I mean? Because the service that this place provides, there ain't another place like, you know, the aftercare here. You don't get that with any other places, you know. Residents that have been here in the past that are struggling have come back and they've spent time here, they've stayed. If this place closes, that won't happen.
It's saving lives every day for Chandos. You know, it's keeping men in addiction safe, alive. Without Chandos, yeah, it would be a massive loss. So I left this time last year, and I was in Chandos for 7 months.
Came to Chandos just over a year ago. Finished treatment in January, and now I come here for the aftercare program. It's an amazing thing. No other place has it, because when you leave rehab, you leave. If you want to go back, you need refunding.
Yeah.
But Chandos has an open door policy. It's free for as long as you need it. I finished my treatment in January and I relapsed soon after it. My family said, phone Chandos up, get back there. So I was in London a couple of weeks and I came back and was given a room and some time to find a dry house.
With Chandos, they don't treat the wounded. You know? If you make a mistake, they look at why you made a mistake. They don't kick you out for it. You know? Because relapse is part of recovery, though, for some people.
If you work, so I split my time between voluntary work and here. And also we do a thing called peer support, when a senior peer will be here of an evening or weekends, just to support the house and the house leader. But yeah, it's just it's a pleasure to do it. Yeah. It isn't any way a problem.
And if you could say anything to the public right now and they would hear you, what would you say to them?
Spend the day here. Spend the day here and see what goes on, because not everything is black and white. You know, there's a lot of things that go on here every day, and they can see just what magic goes on in 24 hours.
In the 3 months, 6 months, however long their funding is or however long they stay here, because they're not always funded, in that time I see very dramatic changes. I see people shifting their relationship with themselves. I see them shifting their relationship with the world. I see them building confidence and optimism for the future. I see them developing a sense of belief in their power to change. And I also see them developing emotional intelligence in a way that many of them would never have believed when they first arrived here.
A large part of them think that we're criminals and riff-raff, if you will. In my experience, every addict, there's been an underlying reason why they've gone to using drugs, they've started drinking, you know. We are good people. We've just fell on bad times.
What would you say to the government? What would you tell them?
I think there is a willful ignorance about the consequences of austerity and cutting services across the country. People with problematic use of drugs and alcohol will cost the community considerably more if they do not get the treatment they need. So the decision to cut services at all levels, cutting local authority services, health services, police services, across the board, all of that has an impact on the communities that we all live in. So the cost to the hospitals will probably be greater. The cost of imprisoning somebody is greater than giving them an opportunity in a rehabilitation centre.
So I would say to them, start thinking about the little clock and fat cat that they always think about.
Yep. I thought about those answers. They're the only answers that I would think about when I looked at that page. And they're the two answers that I came out with. And nothing else seemed relevant.
After spending the day listening to the stories of the residents and the staff, I come to realise now exactly how big the importance of this place staying open truly is, as well as the importance of allocating the necessary funding not only here but across England.